Hey, it's Dwayne Morris, and I want to welcome you to my kitchen, the Urban Soul Kitchen. Today, we're going to cook dressing. I know. A lot of y'all think the dressing is just for Thanksgiving, but listen, you don't have to eat something special just one day of the year. You can eat dressing Christmas time. You can eat it throughout the remainder of the year, Eat it spontaneously. I like dressing with some good gravy. But this is not going to be ordinary dressing. This dressing can be your entree because we're adding chicken to this dressing. And not only do you have the option of adding chicken, but you can add turkey, or you can even add pork chops to it. Whatever you add, I'm quite sure it'll be a good addition to your menu. But listen, you can take this time of the year when it's not Thanksgiving, and it may be Thanksgiving while you're watching this, but you can take this time of the year before the holiday seasons get here and try this out so that when the holidays come, you're already ready. And with this being an entree, the only thing you have to do is add vegetables to it. Your green vegetables or either macaroni and cheese or whatever. You have an entree that you can pull out at any time and use it throughout the year. So we're in the Urban Soul Kitchen, so why not? Let's get to cooking. All right, we got the three important vegetables. In New Orleans, they call this the Holy Trinity of vegetables. We have onions, bell pepper, and celery. All right, first thing we want to do is get our cast iron skillet hot. Put some oil in there and get it hot. Once you get it hot, you want to pour your vegetables in. And you can get all my measurements in the description. Cook them not all the way till they're done, but cook them until they become translucent. Isn't that beautiful? All right here we have our chicken stock and 3 big cast iron skillets of cornbread. And we have videos on how to do the chicken stock as well as the cornbread, but the large cast iron skillets of cornbread. We got them in the bowl here, and we're pouring the chicken stock over cornbread. Look at all that flavor, even in the chicken stock. Look at that, nothing but flavor. All right, we're gonna mash all this together. This is a little work here, but the reward is well worth it. If you want to, you can speed up video to get ahead, but this is me mixing everything together. And it takes a little time, but as I said, the reward is well worth it. As I said, if you need to, speed up, get to the next portion of the process. And you're trying to get it as fine as possible, breaking all those pieces up. It takes time. And you may have to get your hands in here and squish it. Take your time and do this right, because if you don't mix it well, you're going to have some pieces of cornbread in there that don't have any flavor. Take your time and mix it right. You can see where it's breaking down now. I wanted to take my time through this process so you can see that it takes time to break it down. You just don't pour it on there and just, stir it a couple times. It takes time. All right here I've added my Urban Soul Chef's fried chicken seasoning. Urban Soul Chef's fried chicken, herbs, and spices right there. A little salt and sugar. Balance out the sweetness, savory. Give it a savory flavor with that salt and sugar and the spices. All right, then we're going to continue mixing. Now, some people like dried stuffing of chicken dressing. I like mine's moist. So I haven't added any extra chicken stock to it, but some people may want to leave it just like this and cook it. But with me, later on, I'm going to add more chicken stock because I like it to be moist. And you keep mixing. Keep mixing because you want all those flavors to get in there. Get in there. Yeah. All right, now mixing in the holy trinity of vegetables. Bell pepper, celery, and onions. And I didn't cook them all the way down because you want them to cook a little more and release some flavoring into the corn mix. That's beautiful too, isn't it? It takes a little time to make some good dressing. You see it's creamy and you don't see any lumps of cornbread in there. There we go. We break it down. When we come across them, we break them down. But it's real smooth. And right here, what I'm adding. Now, a lot of people don't like sage, but I love the flavor of sage. And you rub it to release that flavor as well. All right, I've mixed the sage in, and as you can see, I've added a little more chicken broth to it. And now we're adding some good old chicken. For this dish, I'm just using the chicken that I cooked the broth, made the broth from. You break it up, put that chicken in there. And you can add a whole lot more chicken than this. And you can add turkey or pork chops as well. Or you can add all three meats to have meat lovers cornbread dressing. That's right, all three meats. Chicken, turkey, and pork. And have meat lovers cornbread stuffing. Look at that. Ooh-wee! That looks good. Now you can add enough meat in here to whereas this is actually your entree. You won't have to cook a separate meat. All right, we got it mixed up good enough. It's moist enough, and we're going to put it in this clear pan. Look at that. Beautiful. You can see the chicken, you can see the bell peppers, and you can see the seasonings as well. And it's moist enough. I like adding a lot of corn stock to it because it's going to cook down. It's going to reduce in liquid. So therefore, like I said, a lot of people like theirs dry. I like mine's moist. So you add a little more corn stock to it or whatever liquid you use to make it, a little moisture. And one other thing I didn't tell you is also add some butter to it while it's hot. While you're mixing together, add some butter to it to add a little more flavor as well. And if you want a little extra flavor, pour a little cream in there too. All right, the stove is already preheated. And you can see the fan going in the back is preheated. I can't remember what I set it to, but you can see that in the description. Normally it takes about an hour to cook, sometimes a little less. But you can determine that by the texture of it. Once you look in there, you can actually visually see when it's ready to your liking. I don't like mine dried out, as I said, and that's almost perfect right there. Cook it a little more to dry it a little more, just like that. Look at that. You can see the chicken. You can see the bell peppers, a little celery, and there's an onion right there. And you can see the season. Oh my God, look at that. You can see the sage at the top there. There's some onion and bell pepper. Nice flavor. So if you have not subscribed to my channel, subscribe to the Urban Soul Chef, as well as visit me online at www.urbansoulchef.com and order some of my spices as well. And I want to thank you once again for being a part of the Urban Soul Chef's online family. God bless you.